What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Now, very interesting news. It looks like Pacquiao's legal advisor, Manny Pacquiao, his legal advisor's name is Franklin Cacao, and he's the advisor of Pacquiao. He recently has been on record as stating and imploring that Bob Arum of Top Rank lets Pacquiao fight Mayweather. And by let, I mean as a legal advisor, I'm pretty sure he knows all the ramifications, the ins and outs, loopholes, just like lawyers or defense attorneys or anything like that. So, as you guys know, Pacquiao is under contract with Top Rank. He re-signed possibly last year in recent memory, and his contract is valid until at least the end of this year, 2014. As you guys know, we just had New Year's, so the year just fucking started, and he's under contract with Top Rank. We know there's a long-standing beef with Golden Boy Promotions, Mayweather Promotions, and Top Rank. Mayweather Promotions is its own entity. However, Floyd Mayweather, especially for his fights, he works really closely with Golden Boy to put it on, and they do a lot of the preparation, probably the negotiations, securing locations for the press conferences, balloons. I'm sure they do a lot of shit to prepare catering, different things like that, and they handle a lot for Mayweather Promotion. It's like a joint collaborative effort, and neither one of them guys like Bob Arum. Bob Arum used to manage Oscar De La Hoya. He used to manage Floyd Mayweather. He used to manage Cotto. A lot of people leave Top Rank. They feel they're getting a raw deal, especially De La Hoya and Mayweather. So I'm sure there's a long-standing beef. On top of that, Bob Arum has several interviews just floating around the internet that you can catch that he's done where he's really talked shit about both. He said Oscar was a crybaby. He says Mayweather's boring and all kinds of shit. In addition to that, Mayweather claims that Bob Arum owes him money for the Zab Judah fight and probably other money. So back to this video. Manny Pacquiao's legal advisor is asking Bob Arum to release his fighter. So basically, you go to Redbox for a movie, like you're like, oh shit, I want to see Elysium with Matt Damon. You're not buying the movie, you're renting it, just like Redbox. You just put in your credit card, swipe the shit, a movie comes out. That's basically what they're trying to do. Since Pacquiao's under contract, there's different things and amendments you can use so they could secure the fight with Mayweather. I think it's a hell of an idea, and I think it's really going to separate the sheep from the wolf. Like Denzel said in Training Day, to protect the sheep, you got to, are you a sheep or you a wolf? That had nothing to do with anything. I just want to say that. But we're going to really see what Bob Arum's talking about, because if I know Bob Arum like I think I know Bob Arum, I don't think he's going to loan Pacquiao out for the sake of making the Mayweather fight, because that's really going to result in him making a substantial amount less than he would if he had something to do with the fight. So pride, ego, and greed will probably get in the way. But I think it's a hell of an idea. If Manny really wants to fight, he hasn't really taken the bull by the horns in his career, in my opinion. I think more or less he's kind of like a puppet. He's just a nice guy, humble. I might just be like, he's just real cool, and he doesn't really command like Cotto. If you look at Cotto has done what he has wanted with his career. He wanted Pedro Diaz, and after a couple fights, he's like, oh, this is not working. Then he enlisted Freddie Roach, and he works with HBO, can work with Top Rank. Same thing with Mayweather. Mayweather can really do what he wants. He was working with HBO, Showtime offering more money, negotiated a deal. Cool. Now with Pacquiao has, it's like, I don't know if you guys remember being a kid. Some of you guys probably still are kids. But you want to spend the night at your friend's house and you have to go to your mom, like, oh, can I spend the night? That's what Pacquiao has to do. And I'm not trying to clown him. I'm just being honest. He has to get permission. And he lets you know that. In some of his fights, he'll be like, oh, I'm down to fight, but it's up to my promoter, Bob Arum. And he'll just put it all on Bob Arum. Versus a guy like Cotto, we're waiting to hear who Cotto selects. They offered him Canelo and Sergio Martinez, and he might not take either. Or he might take Martinez, which is what it's looking like. But he has that option. We're waiting on Cotto to decide what he wants to do versus Pacquiao. Pacquiao, I'm sure you can get a list of people and then he'll just pick any, meeny, miny, mo and pick. but he doesn't have the same creative control over his career and the same freedom. So if Bob Arum releases for the greater good, for the sake of fucking boxing, I think that's huge, and I think they should do that. But I just don't think Bob Arum will do it, because I think he's greedy and he's going to want more than just a fixed fee. That's what Pacquiao's legal advisor is suggesting. He said Floyd could agree to Manny hiring Bob on a contractual basis with a fixed fee. So basically, like I said, red box. Mayweather and Golden Boy Promotions works together. They rent Pacquiao for the sake of making this fight, since Mayweather's been on record saying, I will never put a penny in Bob Arum's bank account. I will never do business with Bob Arum again. And I'm not working with Pacquiao as long as he's connected to Top Rank and Bob Arum. So if he's that stern and Pacquiao really wants to fight, he's going to have to cross the water some kind of way. Whether we see this fight in 2015 or 2032, he's going to have to not do it with Top Rank. And Mayweather's in a position where he can kind of call the shots and dictate that. I really think this was a good idea by Franklin Gacau. I think it makes sense. And if Bob Arum really cares for his fighter, really cares about the sport, he'll really respect Pacquiao's wishes and desire to want to fight him. Plus, Pacquiao's not in the greatest financial situation. He's had to pay his promoter a lot of money. He's had to pay other things. And now he's into tax trouble with the IRS. I don't know exactly how much he owes. There's different speculation, different reports. But a Mayweather fight is still big business. He got one win under his belt with Brandon Rios. He's probably going to have to fight someone else at least before the Mayweather fight could happen. At the very earliest, I don't see this fight happening before like September. So I think both fighters will fight whoever in April and May. And third quarter, fourth quarter, this fight could possibly happen if both parties are willing to cooperate, or if Bob Arum will lend Pacquiao to Mayweather / Golden Boy for the sake of making the fight. Me personally, like I said, I just don't see Bob Arum being gracious enough to do that. Pacquiao's his cash cow. He has him under contract. So realistically, he's like the P. Diddy of boxing. He controls their career. He gets paid off. I don't know if you guys follow music or music moguls or rap or anything, but P. Diddy had signed a group called The Lox with Jadakiss, Sheik, and Styles P. And this was when Biggie was still alive. They left shortly after, difference of opinion, whatever. For years after, Biggie died and all kinds of stuff changed, and a lot of people from Bad Boy Records came and went. And for years, every time they did a song, Diddy was still getting a cut of that. He was still getting a portion, because through some fucked up contract that they were under, that they signed when they were young, when they were 18 or 17, because they were just eager to be signed, Diddy had him by the balls and was still making money off Jadakiss. So Jadakiss would do a mixtape or solo album, and Diddy would still get a slice of that. He would still get a cut. And that's really similar to Pacquiao. Everything Pacquiao does, Bob Arum has him. And that's the downside, especially with boxers. Boxers sometimes partner with greedy promoters, janky promoters, or whatever the situation is, and they know the business. Bob Arum's been in it since the dawn of time. I mean, he's an older gentleman. He's been around since the Muhammad Ali days, since Ali was fighting, and he knows the business. Then you get someone, an up-and-comer, doesn't even really speak English at the time. I'm talking about when Pacquiao first stepped foot in the States and was really making a name for himself, and he's coming from poverty. Shit, anything looks good. If you're starving, like Eddie Murphy said in Raw, if you're starving and someone throws you a cracker, you be like, God damn, this is a saltine. And that's what it is. Pacquiao, he's comes from poverty, he comes from nothingness in the Philippines, living and eating out of trash cans and stuff. Sometimes he's like, we went without food and we just went to sleep. That's what we ate sleep. So anything Bob Arum presented back in the day, he was probably willing to take. He just wanted to see a better life than he already had. So it's pretty unfortunate. Hopefully Bob Arum lends out Pacquiao for the sake of boxing and making this fight after so fucking long. We've all waited for it. Let me know what you guys think of this idea. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.